All EastEnders cast returns, exits and new arrivals coming up in 2025. Fans have loved the big returns for EastEnders 40th, including Ross Kemp as Grant Mitchell and Anita Dobson's surprise cameo as Angie Watts. However, the milestone week saw Martin Fowler tragically die in Stacey's arms, while Reese Colwell met a bizarre end under a falling bathtub. Though the anniversary is over, more familiar faces will continue to appear in Walford in the coming months. EastEnders cast departures. Sonia Fowler. It's the end of an era as EastEnders legend Natalie Cassidy prepares to leave the show after 32 years as Sonia Fowler. Sonia recently discovered that her fiancé, Reese Colwell, killed his comatose wife, Debbie, and let Sonia take the blame, with Reese now dead and Sonia giving birth to their daughter, Julia. During the dramatic live episode, she is entering a new chapter, one that will see her leave Albert Square for good. Announcing her exit, Natalie Cassidy shared, "After another 11 solid years back on the square, I have decided it's time to move on. EastEnders is in my bones, and I will never forget where I started my career." Bianca Jackson. Patsy Palmer's return as Bianca Jackson was always set to be short-lived, and it now seems likely that her exit will coincide with Natalie Cassidy's departure as Sonia Fowler. Earlier this month, Patsy bid farewell to her character on Instagram, sharing a photo with the caption, "Bye bye, be always grateful to see her again." Her exit comes after a joint leaving party with Natalie, attended by her husband, Richard Merkel, who flew in from LA for the occasion. Fans will have to wait and see how Bianca's final scenes play out alongside Sonia's departure. Ruby Allen. Louisa Litton's return as Ruby Allen has been short but eventful, with her character shocking Walford by revealing she secretly gave birth to Martin's child during her time away. Since reuniting with Martin, Ruby has faced heartbreak, as he confessed his love for ex-wife Stacey in his dying moments. Whether she learns the full truth remains to be seen, but her exit is imminent. Louisa was only back for a prolonged stint, and she is set to leave EastEnders soon, having signed on to play Rachel Watson in the touring production of A Girl on the Train from April 15 to May 31. Nigel Bates. There was a huge surprise for 90s EastEnders fans back in December when Nigel Bates made an unexpected comeback, 26 years after his last appearance. Since his return, he has been supporting old-school friend Phil Mitchell through his mental health crisis, while also dealing with the fact he has been diagnosed with young-onset dementia himself. While Nigel has been a welcome addition to the square, actor Paul is only back temporarily, although it is not yet known how long his stint is set to last for. Felix Baker. Felix Baker star Matthew James Morrison, who made history as Walford's first ever regular drag queen Tara Missu, will exit the show after 3 years. The character made his square debut in 2022, arriving with brother Finley and dad Avery. A BBC spokesperson said, "We can confirm that Matthew will be leaving EastEnders later in the year. We wish him all the best for the future." Felix's exit comes as new boss Ben Wadey commences his tenure as executive producer. EastEnders cast returns. Stacey Slater. Lacey Turner is on maternity leave after welcoming her third child in January but returned briefly for EastEnders' live episode. Stacey Slater has left Walford to stay with her brother Sean after Martin's death, but her return for his funeral suggests it may be temporary. Vicki Fowler. Vicki Fowler is set to return to our screens with a new face as Martin is laid to rest in emotional funeral scenes. Vicki last appeared on our screens in 2004, played by Scarlett Alice Johnson, before moving away with Spencer Moon. Now, Alice Haig is taking on the iconic role of Michelle Fowler and Den Watt's daughter as she returns to Albert Square for Uncle Martin's funeral. Bex Fowler. Jasmine Armfield is set to reprise her role as Bex Fowler in EastEnders after 5 years away. Bex, who has been traveling the world, returns to Walford for her dad Martin's funeral. Jasmine shared, "It's amazing for me to come home, but for Bex, It's an absolutely devastating time because she's lost her dad. She's grown up a lot. So we'll see a more mature version of Bex this time around. Cindy Beale. Following her shameful behavior over the last year, Cindy Beale escaped Walford for a new beginning with old best pal Geeta Kapoor last month. Shunned by her family for causing the explosion that killed Martin Fowler, and with nowhere left to turn, she jetted off, but this isn't the last we've seen of her in Albert Square. EastEnders new arrivals. Ross. Vicki Fowler isn't returning to Walford alone, she arrives with her new boyfriend, Ross, played by Holby City and the Bill star Alex Walkinshaw. Ross's arrival surprises Sharon Watts and Alfie Moon, who were unaware that Vicki had split from Spencer. Alex shared, "I am really excited as I've had so many friends on EastEnders throughout the years. And I always hear lovely things about it. Ross is a hard-working family man who always puts family first. But his relationship with Vicki won't be without challenges." Joel. Ross isn't arriving in Walford alone, he's also joined by his son, Joel, played by TV newcomer Max Murray. Max shared, "It's an absolute privilege and honor to be joining such a wonderful production full of a lovely cast and crew. I'm really looking forward to introducing Joel to EastEnders viewers and telling his story."
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của EastEnders Spoiler TV. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại bạn.